I'm remembering the days, for I went away, way back in the hills of old Vermont. And the orchard on the hill, I think I see it still, way back in the hills of old Vermont. For tonight I long to be where the catamount run free and the rattlesnake can lie out in the sun, near the voices of the loons when the apple blossoms bloom, way back in the hills of old Vermont. There used to be a barn near the old fishing pond, way back in the hills of old Vermont. So many fields of hay, now gone with yesterday, way back in the hills of old Vermont. For tonight I long to be where the catamount run free and the rattlesnake can lie out in the sun, near the voices of the loons when the apple blossoms bloom, way back in the hills of old Vermont. Well, everything has changed, nothing stays the same, way back in the hills of old Vermont. Like that old brown panther's roar, you won't hear that no more, way back in the hills of old Vermont. For tonight I long to be where the catamount run free and the rattlesnake can lie out in the sun, near the voices of the loons when the apple blossoms bloom, way back in the hills of old Vermont. But when the rains came down and flooded many towns, way back in the hills of old Vermont, all the neighbors lent a hand for the loving of the land, way back in the hills of old Vermont. For tonight I long to be where the catamount run free and the rattlesnake can lie out in the sun, near the voices of the loons when the apple blossoms bloom, way back in the hills of old Vermont. Hi, this is Rik Palieri right here in the hills of old Vermont, and I am so glad to be here. You know, that last week, looking good? All right. Hey, Al, good to see you. Yeah, you know, it's been last week. It was crazy. We had such a bad it was a snowstorm, and you know everything shut down. I mean, we lost power all day long, so we couldn't really be able to do the live stream. It's kind of hard to imagine that like right now because it's so warm out. But yeah, we had a really bad storm and we couldn't do the live stream, and you know, but maybe it was a good thing because you know something was really cool. That, as you can see, my old friend here. Oh yeah, my old friend here. That's right. My hand could actually play a big guitar. So that is exciting. I'm not doing too much right now because I just found out that I could do it again, and it was pretty amazing for me to see that I could actually play a guitar again. It's been so long. And one of the things that I thought would be interesting was that, there are other friends that are kind of going through this same kind of thing that I just went through of having surgery and not being able to use your hands. And that is a really kind of difficult moment. If you're playing music most of your life and then one day you realize that you can't do it anymore. Uh, Luckily, it's a temporary thing, um, but for a while you just can't play. And so I thought that I would kind of talk about that idea that is it's important, first of all, as much as we hate it, to really listen to what what our doctors and our physical therapists tell us about not using the hands. Okay, to leave it be, let it rest, and then slowly. I mean, I've been doing all kinds of exercises for my hands, and this is the first. I just picked up my guitar for the first time just a few minutes ago. I said, well, let me see how it's working, because I didn't realize how far I could go up the neck. Because I've really been, playing the ukulele and my banjo being way up here, way up here, you know. But it's nice to be able to play the banjo again. Eventually, I think I'll be able to get a little bit higher. But right now, I'm kind of happy just to be able to play. Let's try that again. Then, I can't do it now. We'll try it again. Sometimes you get so excited that your hand, there we go. it's getting there. It's getting there. Sometimes it works perfectly, and then other times it don't. Now, one of the things about that, I was talking to a good friend of mine today about that. Sometimes things in life just don't go the way that we want them to go exactly, and that's the time that I think about that philosophy. I don't know if I talked about it before, that wabi sabi, from the old Japanese tradition. When a potter is making a pot, and they put it in a kiln, and sometimes the pot cracks. And instead of just discarding it, what they do is they take that crack and they fill it with gold. And that crack filled with gold becomes the most beautiful part of the pot. So sometimes those faults that we have really can be made into a beautiful thing, because none of us are perfect. We all make mistakes, and I remember, I don't know if I told this before or not. You have to forgive me. I was taking some banjo lessons from Eric Darling. This was long time ago, and he told me this story one time about when he was recording the song, the San Francisco Bay Blues. You remember that song? And maybe I'll play it in a little bit. And he said that he was recording it with the Weavers. It was a big production. It was all the old Weavers. Pete was there, and Bernie Krause, and Frank Hamilton, and of course Lee Hayes and Ronnie Gilbert and Fred Hellerman. And they were all there, and he was playing this San Francisco Bay Blues, and it was like his tune that he was going to highlight. And he blew it. He blew the verse, and of course the Weavers, being the Weavers, they kind of went with it and had fun with it. But Eric was really disappointed with himself. But he knew he had another show coming up, because this was going to be recorded for Vanguard Records. I think it was Vanguard. And so he went, and sure enough, the next time that the song came along, he nailed it perfectly. He was thrilled, no mistake at all. And so then they were deciding about what songs that they were going to put on the album. And all the Weavers said, well, we want to use the San Francisco Bay Blues. And Eric said, well, yeah, we've got the one from the second concert. He said, no, there's something about that first take that we really like. And he was like, wait a minute, I made a mistake. I don't want to put that out. No, he was refusing it, but he was outnumbered. And they put that song on that album. And what happened was he didn't listen to it for years. He said that he was so really, he couldn't stand the idea that they put out that song. And so what happened was, many years later, he happened to hear that recording, and he listened to the song, and he kind of listened with fresh ears, and he realized that they were right. There was something about that take, even with the mistake that he made, that was better than the perfect one. And so Eric said, so sometimes the imperfect can be more perfect than the perfect could have ever been. And so I think about that, there's a school of thought. My friend Lon Austin, great man of wisdom, down in Phoenix, Arizona. And he always believes that if you make a mistake, any kind of mistake, you just proudly shout out "overs," and you do it all over again, and there's no problem with that. And that, I think that's maybe the way it should be in life, is that we just kind of accept those mistakes that we make. And especially when we are dealing with these kinds of problems. You know, when your hand is not working like it should work. So, usually my hand will go exactly where I want it to go. But I can, like I said, I can move my hand a little ways, but even like when I'm going down here, there's this pain that's running all through my arm, and I get too excited, and I try to forget about the pain anyway and just push through it. I don't know if that's such a good idea or not. I don't know, but we'll see. One time I was visiting over at Pete Seeger's house. This is a long time ago, and we were sitting there, and usually I would come up and we would do. Sometimes I would help him, with the firewood. Sometimes I'd help him with something else. He liked to work together. That was one of the big things. Is that if you went up to the house there, um, you know, you would pitch in to whatever it was that was going on. And so, and then after you were done, then you could sit around and then you might play a little bit of music. And so that this one time I was up there, and Pete was playing something on the banjo, and I was sitting there, and he started playing this really cool the Blue Skies, which I heard on that Goofing Off suite, and I really liked it. And he said, did you ever, Rick? Did you ever learn how to play Blue Skies? And I said, well, Pete, no, I couldn't figure it out. And he said, well, it's not that hard. He said, you start off with a crazy chord like this. You have this two fingers over here and there like that. And then you make an E minor and bring it back. Then hammer. Then like that. And then I'm playing it kind of slow. My hands. Blue skies smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see. Bluebirds singing a song, nothing but bluebirds all day long. Never saw the sun shining so bright, never saw things going so right. Noticing the days hurrying by, when you're in love, my how they fly. Blue days, all of them gone, nothing but blue skies from now on. Well, you can work on it yourself. It's a fun song to play, and especially that part. Da, 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 da. Then that, if you can get that chord, da 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 da. Oh, blue skies, fun song. So many great songs to play on the banjo. I get in that banjo zone. Chickens crow on South Mountain, hey, ding, dang, diddle, day. Chickens crow on South Mountain, hey, ding, diddle, day. Chickens crow on South Mountain, hey, ho. Chickens crow on South Mountain, hey, ho, diddle, day. Daisy, hey ho, diddle day. I don't get her, I'll go crazy, hey ho, diddle day. Chickens crow on South Mountain, hey ho. Chickens crow on South Mountain, hey ho, diddle day. Hey ho, diddle day. She won't come, I won't follow. Hey ho, diddle day. Chickens crow on South Mountain. Hey ho. Chickens crow on South Mountain. Hey ho, diddle day. Chickens crow on South Mountain, hey ho, diddle day. Chickens crow on South Mountain, hey ho, diddle day. Chickens crow on South Mountain, hey ho. Chickens crow on South Mountain, hey ho, diddle day. Chickens crow on South Mountain. Well, I could tell that I'm pushing myself here. Pushing myself a little bit now. Oh gosh. Let me put this over here. Now, so there are a couple of things coming up. All right. On Saturday, this Saturday, it's starting at 10 o'clock in the morning, going till 5 o'clock, is this, what we're calling it is the International Song Farmers Virtual Gathering. You see, the song farmers are getting together over in Kentucky at Renville Valley. And they're all assembling there, but not everybody can get there. So we thought it would be an interesting idea if we actually had a virtual kind of gathering also. So we decided that we'd do it from 10 o'clock till 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And then people could join in. So we have people coming from England. We have people from Ireland. We have people from Israel. All these states, including Hawaii. And everybody will be coming on and doing a couple of songs. So that might be something that some of you might be interested in. is seeing that. I'm just going to check over. Lauren Payne there. Good. Me too. Cloink, cloink. I have a book on clawhammer banjo. Want time to learn it? Yeah. All right. Well, that's the thing is that when you get together like at these gatherings, especially the in-person ones, you can learn how to play a lot of the different instruments, a lot of the old folk instruments. And so if you can, go to songfarmers.org. That's like song farmers, all one word, songfarmers.org. And you can find out more information. I'm going to be posting some things here on Facebook because we're going to have it on Facebook Live. There'll be a link, and you can watch the whole thing before your eyes. See all these people playing all the different instruments and singing different songs, sometimes maybe a few different languages. So that's all going to be happening on this Saturday, April 30th. So that's 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope that you will get a chance to join in the fun. It's going to be a great time for sure. I'm going to see if I can just play a little bit on my guitar to say goodbye to you folks. Like I said, I'm pushing my hand a little bit. I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't do that. Yeah. Go to sleep, weary hobo. Let the town strip slowly by. Can't you hear the steel rails humming? That's the hobo's lullaby. Well, folks, it's time to go. I'll see you next week, right here, and we'll have some more fun together. Until then, we'll send you off with the old steamboat whistle. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.